Welcome, viewers. This moment I want us to turn to poetry. I've also written a number of poems. I know mostly I'm known for prose, but literature is literature. Yeah, literature is literature. It's not just about prose fiction. Now, when we talk about poetry, most people think about esoteric texts, works of art that are very difficult to interpret with a big vocabulary, with abstract symbolism. Symbolism is not the only style in poetry. Basically, poetry is any form of expression that involves strong emotions and feelings. According to William Wordsworth, poetry is a form of expression that involves the choice of the best words arranged in the best order. So, mostly in poetry, we must feel. That's the first point. It must evoke our emotions. And why emotions? When we touch people's feelings, we're able to change their attitudes. And once we change their attitudes, we change their character. So, there is actually a nexus between poetry and music. Yeah, there is a nexus between them, a connection. Only that music is mostly performed, but poetry is recited and sometimes also sung, like Swahili poems. Most Swahili poems are sung. So one of the books I've published in poetry is called Dissecting Poetry, which I published in 2013 to enable learners, especially in high school, to understand the interpretation of poetry. It covers symbol styles in poetry, both rhythmic styles, that is sound patterns, and imagery. So I will just read a few lines from my book, Dissecting Poetry, for you to see. For example, there is a poem here by Amina Ado, who writes a very simple poem to enable us understand poetry. For example, she says, "I beg you, mother, do not fight father. I beg you, mother, do not quarrel your children. I beg you, mother, do not fight me when I err. I beg you, mother, treat me like your child." So this is a child who is complaining against domestic violence. And look at the clarity and simplicity with which she is able, to write this poem. Yeah? And then look at this. Look at how repetition can create poetry. None I cherish like you. You are but the comfort of my heart. None I cherish like you. Your voice, the lullaby of my mind. None I cherish like you. Your waist, the rest house of my hand. None I cherish like you. You are well, the shelter of my manhood. None I cherish like you. Look at that repetition. That's a love poem. But look at how repetition can be used to touch the emotions, yeah, of the audience. Now, how do we look at the scope of poetry? What is the depth of poetry? The depth of poetry can be summarized in this poem, I Wish to Marry by Andrew Nyongesa. I wish to marry a girl with a kind heart, a girl of upright character, endowed with brown hair, long hair, slender build, who men take a decade to woo and woo, to try and win her. You see, so poetry can be compared to a beautiful lady, that the outward form, yeah, is used to do what? To attract, to attract the lover. And then the inner heart can be realized later, the inner person, that without a proper appearance, you will not be able to understand the heart of this person. And so poetry begins from outside. The style is meant to attract, to attract the reader to interpret the message, which is the heart, the heart, of the poem, which is the heart of the poem. So welcome to this session. We will be reading different poems for us to appreciate poetry even more. So this is Dissecting Poetry. This is how the book looks. The book is pink. The book is pink in color. It's a very, very wonderful book which can assist basically high school students to master poetry even better. So welcome. We'll continue looking at poetry, yeah, for us to enjoy it more and more. Thanks.